Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do a quick video today talking about the prestige system in the game and how it works, how you could use it to your advantage, and also how it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you don't pay attention to it, you can kind of get blown up. It can kind of sneak up on you. Like I sort of found out myself. So yeah, okay, so what's the prestige system? Well, actually, before I start, let me just say, if you guys are enjoying the coverage of this game, please consider subscribing to the channel. I don't see too much stuff out here for this game yet, so I'm just gonna keep pumping out these short little videos of how to get started. Try to keep it as simple as possible, because I mean that's how I like to start with my games before I jump into the deep end. So the reason I'm talking about the prestige is because it directly can help you with the combat in the game. It can give you a straight increase to all your units while you're fighting a force, just based on the difference between your prestige and their prestige. So it doesn't show you, I'm playing here as the Azai, and it doesn't show you right off the bat where my prestige is. But if you go to your info here, let's see, here we go, info, go to your clan info, you'll see your prestige there. So the prestige is 10, which is, pretty small, whatever. And that's the first way to check it. That's the quickest way. You can also go up here. Also go to the tab up here, go to info list, and you can go to your clan. Same thing, it'll show up there, and it'll show up with the list of all the other clans, so you can get an idea. Highest prestige in the game is always going to be the Shogun, because they're the Shogun, they're the emperor, they're the god, right? So 1500 is just going to be a huge disparity between them and everyone else, but everyone else is here. So 10's pretty low. If you go to your diplomacy, go to goodwill, go to negotiate, you'll also see your prestige. So that's another way to check it. So it says Azai right there, prestige is 10. Now when you look at other clans, it'll show theirs right away, and it'll have a word next to it. And this is an evaluation, like a ballpark evaluation of where you are compared to them in terms of prestige. Higher clans will have a different word. So rivalry means you're about the same. The Takeda have confident. So they see themselves as, they're a little bit more of a bigger deal than you are. And your troops will reflect that if you choose to go to war with them. Then you have supremacy, that's the next tier. So that's even more further away. And then I believe the final tier, which the Shogun has, is overpowering. That's like, don't even bother dealing with this clan prestige wise. You should be worshipping the ground that they walk on, right? Because they're just so much more prestigious, insane. Now this affects, like I said, this directly affects your ability to fight these people. If your prestige is greater, I'm going to show you another example with the Shogun in a second here, but if your prestige is greater than, you will receive a huge edge in the battle. And on the other side of it, if I'm going to fight the Takeda, which I'm getting ready to do in my file, you're going to have a little bit of an uphill battle right off the bat. Doesn't matter what the troop count is, resources, my guys versus their guy. Right off the bat, it's just, they're more prestigious than you, your units are debuffed. So it's a pretty big deal, because it's just it can be, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It can really help you. It can help you win battles that you have no business winning just because of your prestige, debuffing other units, and on the other end, it can just be like pushing a boulder up a mountain sometimes because of it, because of the disparity between you and another forces. So now the question is, how do you get prestige up? Well, there's two ways. First way is really simple. Just take a castle. Every time you take a castle, your prestige goes up. The second way is a little bit more convoluted. The second way is to get a title from the Shogun. So if you guys have played Romance, you know how this goes. You need to have all of the In Romance, it's called all of the provinces, all of the individual territories that make up the province, and then you'll automatically get the title. In Nobunaga's ambition, I think they're called countries. So you have to have all the countries that make up the province, and then you can petition for the title. So you might want to know, okay, where are my countries? Like what does this belong to? How do I know that? So if you click here, whoops, you go to info, go to your clan info again. It'll tell you, let's see, where is it? Castle? I think it's castle. There it is. Okay, so if you go under castle info, it says it right there, country. So this belongs to the Omi country, and it's part of the Kinki region. Okay. Giggity. So part of the Omi country, right? So you can just click around. This is Omi, this is Omi. Now I know just from playing that the people who have the title right now are the Rokaku. So when I go to click on them castle, it's going to say Omi. So I need to take this. I would need to take Hino because it's also part of the Omi country. And I don't know if I need to take these last two. I don't think so. This is a different part. Okay, these two are different. So I need to take these 4 territories. If I take these 4 territories, I can petition to get the title of governor of this country, and that would give me a pretty big prestige increase. Now the other way to find out, because we're all just starting, nobody's just going to know. This map is huge. You're not just going to know to click. You can just start clicking on all your neighbors and piece it together, but another way to do it is to go up to the map here, go to info, and here they are. Wait, is this them? I believe so. County. I've been saying country, and I think it's county. County makes more sense. Oh no, it's country here again. Maybe it's a typo. Might be a typo. County makes more sense than country. Anyway, so you can just organize it here. So you can see here the Ezo County. I'm going to call it county. So Ezo County affiliation shows you the force, and it'll tell you. You can look. Just go down the list. Find your. So let me see. I can find the Azai. That's who I'm playing as. Here. I'll go down to Azai, and it'll show that my 2 castles belong to the Omi country. Azai with the Z, there it is. These are my territories, Omi, right? And the Rokaku are the guys who also own the Oni territory. So if I get down there, I think it'd be faster to go this way. Let me flip the list upside down. There it is. So there's the Rokaku. See? Omi country. So if I take all of these territories that belong to Omi, then I can petition the court, which is done through diplomacy, Imperial Court. I can ask for an official post, and I can ask for that title. Now where are the titles? Same thing. Go to the info list. Titles. And here you can see different titles require different gold. Gold gets bigger the more territory it is, but they give you bigger payouts and prestige. Some of these payouts and prestige are insane. 200 prestige, 300 prestige, those are insane numbers. I know I haven't shown the bonus yet, but I'll show you guys the bonus in a second and you'll see for yourselves. It's crazy. So if I go all the way down, you can find what Omi is worth, which I think is 50. Most of these four county titles are worth like 50. It's just their standard. It's somewhere here. I think the Rokaku already have the title because of his, historical start. So here it is. Here's the Omi title. Omi Shugo. I'm assuming maybe that means governor. I don't know. Just a guess. But it gives you a 50-point increase in prestige, and you need 2,500 gold to bribe the court, of course, right? So you need the territories, and then you can petition the court to give you the title. That'll give you a 50-point increase in prestige, so on and so forth. The best ones need you to take a whole region. You can see, like, you have needed all of Kanto to get this one, but 350 prestige is insane. So on and so forth. So depending on who you pick, It's going to be different for everybody based on your force. But you're going to want to consider, okay, what's my starting point? How would I get a county title? Because you're going to take castles either way. That's going to give you some prestige. But if you can take a castle that's also part of a title, well, now you're double dipping. So now you're getting, you're going to really reap the benefits of getting that prestige increase. You're going to get a prestige increase for the castles, and you're going to be able to turn around and cash that in with the court and get another increase in prestige. Okay? Now, one last bonus that I want to talk about with prestige that's not so obvious is right here. If you guys remember the last video, I talked to you about the report list and the clan targets. I was harping on about the crops. Get your crops to 5,000 so that, it's important so that you can increase your labor. Well, there's one for prestige as well, and it gives you gold. It also gives you a letter of commendation, which is like, I haven't talked about the council yet, but, a letter of commendation is like a small passive increase. The important thing is loyalty. It's a good way to increase loyalty of disgruntled samurai that you have working for you. If anybody's worked at like any company ever, we could have given you a pay raise, but we're gonna give you this nice plaque. We're gonna give you this gold star employee of the month. Put it right up on the fridge in the break room, so everybody can see it. You know what I mean? That's what a letter of commendation is. It's a nice little increase in loyalty for some officers, not everybody, but it'll show you before you choose. The main thing is that gold. Getting an extra 3,000 gold, an extra 5,000 gold, look, that's nothing. Never to mention, like the ones on the bottom, that 50k, that's crazy. But just getting a 3,000 to 5,000, huge. It can really get you steamrolling. Studying this report list, just looking at this list, because you're going to be taking bases, so that'll give you a letter of commendations, which give you prestige. Prestige gives you more letters of commendations, okay, more awards for your employees, for your samurai, and it gives you gold. So just looking at this list, you can really put together a picture, a roadmap of how you want to grow, what you want to go after. But again, it's going to vary by your starting situation, who you are, etc. Right? This game, the iceberg is as deep as you want it to go. The important thing, the focus is just increase your prestige, get a huge edge in battle. Potentially a huge edge against somebody who has less prestige than you. Very simple. How do you get prestige? Take the bases. Try to get the posts if you can, if you're able to. Okay? Now let me show you an example of what it looks like when you have prestige, when you have crazy prestige and you go to war. Okay, so we switched over to the Shogun here. So here I am, I've deployed everybody, 1,800 soldiers, and we're marching into enemy territory. So I'm going to draw them out, hopefully. Let me put the speed down.
May I?
Okay, everybody wants to be the Shogun's friend. Shogun plays really differently from a lot of other forces because of that. Everybody was going to want a title from you so you can collect a lot of gold. So speaking on the gold thing, if you guys noticed, up there on the gold for the Shogun, he has 100k. So he's loaded. Insanely loaded. So why is that? It's because of the report. Every force that already meets the requirements gets that they receive that bonus gold. So you can see here under the prestige bracket where I just showed you ZSI, because the Shogun has 1,500 prestige, he already gets all the gold. So he's got 50 plus 25, 75, 80, 85, 88, plus his starting gold reserves, whatever those were. So he's at 100k. So he's got the gilded touch right now, beyond loaded. Now this works for every other force. So if you have, if you guys have played any of the other games in the series, Nobunaga, the Takeda, the Hojo, if you played the the Samurai Warrior games, any of those named guys that you see, anybody who's mentioned who has some renown from the time period is going to have starting prestige. The Miyoshi 400, the Takeda probably I think 400 as well. 200 for the Hojo, the Imagawa 300. So that's something to consider when you pick your force. The forces that already have established prestige are going to start off with a surplus of gold right off the bat, just because of that. And the Shogun, because of this rule that they've decided to use in the game, he gets 100k. Now it does get tougher for him later on, but right now he's loaded. And this is kind of an interesting force to play as because of it. You know, you don't have to worry about gold. You're friends with mostly everybody right now. But anyway, yeah, so he starts with 100k because of that rule. But okay, so let me show you guys the bonus here. Okay, so here we have them coming in, and you can see his stats right here. Nobutoyo stats: 62 defense, 69 attack, 56 blockade. So we're a bit higher. We're about at least 10 points higher in each column, if not 20 in blockade. As soon as we engage,
It's to be a field battle. Take
okay, now we're
formation.
engaged, right? And you can see if you check his stats now, it's either red. He's got a debuff, a 10-point debuff to everything. And you can see here, you click R3, you can see this ability reduction when your opponent has higher prestige. So 10 points, I mean, you guys know 10 points is absolutely insane. Because it's 10 to everything. It's 10 to your attack, it's 10 to your defense. So it's like a 20, I don't know, I'd say it's like a 20% decrease to your overall fighting effectiveness. Just because you have a higher prestige than your opponent. That's it. So, I'm gonna let this battle play out. Now, our stats were higher than his already, but the disparity makes it, he's already leaving. The disparity makes it so that, you know, it's just blows opponents out of the water. You will win fights that you have, again, no business winning. You will stay in fights that you have no business staying in, just because of the difference of prestige. You can, and it's something to consider. You could play a small force, like the Shogun, for example, a force that only has 1 land or 2 lands. But if they're renowned, if they're known for something, if they have high prestige, you can still push around forces that are much bigger than you. You know, before you even start thinking about the battle plan and blah blah blah, you already have an edge. You know, they're already intimidated. they're already on their back foot. So it's just a nice flat bonus, and it's something that you can plan for and something that you can choose to have. So, you know, I just wanted to cover it. Your traits also play an important part of it, of course. Being able to stack your traits together, the synergy with your officers when you go to war, and on the civilian side, when you're, you know, your civil traits as well, can also give you the edge. I think I'm going to do a traits video next. So I'd say be on the lookout for that next, because I want to talk about how the traits work and how you can stack them to reach higher tiers of the same bonus. So you can imagine increasing your attack power even further. You know, if your general's already got a great attack power, and you can stack a trait power that increases attack, and now you're debuffing him because you have greater prestige than the other guy, and then you throw a tactic in there that, I mean, there's just, like I said, this game has a lot of layers that you can go to, but you can also stick to the very, you know, you can keep it very simple and still have just as much fun. So yeah, okay, that's gonna be it for the video. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Should be starting a playthrough pretty soon. I just want to kick out a couple of these, you know, simple things. If there's something that you guys want to hear or see, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take it easy.